What's up, cons? Today we are back for the final episode of the Lightshop Season 1. To recap the previous episode, we got confirmation that this shit is the afterlife, and from what it appears, the light bulb seems to be some sort of life force, because when the investigator found his light, he woke up from his coma. In episode 8, we start off with our girlie being depressed. We still see her trying to stitch up her mans, and I guess she thought doing it where the accident happened would make him remember, but that shit failed. She starts having a mental breakdown at the bus stop and starts crashing the fuck out inside, saying, "Why the fuck don't you remember me? How long are you going to stay like this? Did you even love me?" This shit broke my heart. Reminder, she just committed
Unalive.
so she could get to be with a mans who she thought died, but that was a waste because this dude is actually alive. She starts getting freaky with it and undoes his top, then tries to make him remember by going to her house. He's freaking out, confused, because he still cannot remember her and says, "What are we gonna do now?" She says, "You could do me a favor." If I'm being completely honest, girlie, I think you should have gotten your fucking freak on at this point. Maybe that Nunu was gonna jog his memory a little. But no, the favor was for him to go to the light shop and find his light. We move on to the bus driver and we see him on his way to Sene's house. The cougar is at the window talking to him, and the bus driver apologizes for causing all of this. He said he's just trying to find those who are still alive and get them to the light shop. The cougar said she's doing the same thing and tells him to go to the Sunmung apartment where the schoolgirl lives. Hold the fuck up. You're telling me this entire time the cougar was trying to save people? Babes, I will give you the benefit of the doubt. Maybe you couldn't control all of the Slender Man bullshit, but did you have to go running and looking like a fucking demon when you were walking with the schoolgirl? Speaking of the schoolgirl, we see the schoolgirl's mum leave the house to go to the light shop. She can't say anything to the owner because she's already had a funeral, so she gives the owner a necklace with the daughter's name on it. He pieced it up together and realized she wants to find her daughter's light bulb. He says no fucking way, she needs to come by herself. This woman has the most valid reaction after and starts crashing the fuck out cause excuse me boy, you were in the same position with your kid, have some sympathy. The owner has had enough of this bullshit and whips out his majestic eyes, putting her in a trance. After the trance was over, she realizes the owner is her fucking dad cause she starts signaling the candy that they ate during the crash. When she puts the candy in her mouth, he's like, "Shiba, that's my fucking kid," and they start having a cute cry moment together. Okay, this moment was cute and all, but does this mean that there is nepotism even in the fucking afterlife? This man was like, no, sorry, we can't do anything about it. But because she was blood related, he could do exceptions? I don't know, that just seems iffy to me. The bus driver makes it to the apartments and sees the schoolgirl. He says, "Don't you realize what is happening?" And this causes her to recall her moments at school. The general gist of this flashback is she realized no one can actually see her. What? Huh? The fuck? Was there not a scene of these two schoolgirls talking in another episode, which means she can be seen? I don't know, I'm just gonna go with it. She goes off back home and tries to comprehend what the bus driver was talking about, until her mother enters the room and tries to give the light bulb. She keeps resisting, saying that she doesn't want to, and it ends up being a cry fest until the mother finally succeeds. A similar situation happened with Sine and the cougar. She leaves to go find a light bulb, but not without a cry fest, and once she found a light bulb, she wakes up in the real world. But hold the fuck up, because this show does a complete 180 and she ends up going back to the cougar. Turns out she was still alive in the real world for a brief moment, but she intentionally dropped the light bulb in order to die and be with the missus forever. The final couple we see find the light bulb is our Romeo and Juliet. They have the cry fest as usual before the man enters the shop, and once the man is inside, he ends up having trouble finding his light bulb. The reason for this is because he doesn't have his own light bulb keeping him alive. It was actually his girlfriend's. He eventually ends up finding the light bulb and finally wakes up. From this point onwards, everyone's already had their fate sealed, and now there's a massive time skip. In the light shop, we had this old guy that I think was the same person that rented out the place to Sine, bringing a new batch of light bulbs. I think this implies another accident has happened and people are about to enter the light shop again. In the afterlife, we see the bus driver being a permanent resident, which I think is cute. I hope he follows safety protocols there. And we see a very wholesome clip of Sine and the Kruger living their best life. In the real world, we see the schoolgirl outside of school talking about how she remembers the moments in the afterlife, which gives her comfort. The episode ends off with the owner having a wholesome moment with the daughter, and it starts to zoom out from the map, showing how there's multiple light shops that help people guide them into the afterlife or back into the real world. Honestly, this ending here is cute as fuck. Everyone got the closure. The owner, the daughter, the schoolgirl, Sine. The only exception to that rule was Romeo and Juliet. It is a bittersweet ending, but I still find it comforting knowing that she was the sole reason that was keeping him alive. My only complaint at this point is the schoolgirl realizing no one can see her. I found that shit tacky and I'm not getting over it because there was clearly that one moment where she was talking to another girl.
야, 으뜸. 으뜸아,
뭐야?
여자 끝났어.
I am not gonna talk about the second half of this episode because I found that shit retarded and it just felt like an OVA. So I'm just gonna assume the episode ended off here. Overall, I give this shit a 9 out of 10. Very cute. Alright, boys and girls, thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe, and I will see you cunts in the next one. Bye bye.